I'm just absolutely sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. The headspace that people live in. I don't even know. The fact that someone thinks saying something like this in public, in a podcast, is okay, I will never understand. I will never understand. And this fascination with serial killers, man, it's fucking weird. It's weird. We're at that point right now where it's kind of normalized in a way. I don't think people actually want to admit this as well, but it's kind of normalized, man. And here we have another person who feels the exact same way. It's fucking horrendous.
Someone said, if you could have dinner with anyone living or dead, who would it be? And I was like, oh, you're so cute. Mom and dad, is it okay if I give the real answer? And they were like, sure, I guess. What's the answer? And I was like, I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer's pretty fascinating. I think I would have loved to.
Any person living or dead. Let me remind you, motherfuckers. Any person living or dead includes people like Martin Luther King, George Bush, Gandhi. Instead of all of them, she chose this serial killer, this psychopath, who was executed. I think. I'm not completely sure, but I think he was. This fucking romanticization of fucking murderers, man, I will never understand. How can people be so stupid? These people are the ones who then fucking go on and use democracy to vote. Scares the shit out of me, man. Because this is their capacity of thinking. Not only did she name that person, she also was okay with saying this in front of everybody. Everybody, motherfucks, like you're a celebrity. You should of all people know how fucked up this can be. And I don't think this was actually even talked about enough when this happened. It just blows my mind. That's a guy who they made a web series on, and that web series is called Monster. And that show, by the way, I haven't seen the Jeffrey Dahmer version, so I'm not completely sure. Actually, I am, because I kinda know how it works, right? It's just romanticization of killers, man, of murderers. I was watching the latest one, the Ed Gein one, and I was always very curious about this guy, right? Because I had read about him, and there is a difference between being curious and fucking romanticizing somebody, which is what's happening here. It's normal to be curious, you know? That's fine. Of course you're gonna be curious, man. Someone living their lives so differently from others, of course you're gonna be curious. That's okay. But romanticization is the problem, man. That brings me back to that stupid fucking Netflix series. I was watching the Ed Gein one, and the fucking audacity, man. That show, in my personal opinion, is the end product of capitalism. The fact that they were okay with changing how the lives of real people went down just for the sake of cinematic liberty just blows my mind, man. This is not cinematic liberty. This is not a story choice. This is capitalism. This TV show, or fucking web series, whatever the fuck you wanna call it, was not made because someone fucking loves the idea of storytelling. Get the fuck out of here. This is capitalism, man. This is capitalism. These people didn't care about the fact that they were showing a person who was murdered by Ed Gein in a sexual relationship with Ed Gein, which never happened, and then she was actually murdered by Ed Gein in the show. These people were completely okay with it. Blows my mind, man. The level of insensitivity. It blows my mind. I think everybody who's involved with this show should be ashamed of themselves, right? I'm talking about all the big players, obviously. I'm not talking about someone who is working in the crew or something. They have nothing to do with this. They're just trying to make a living. That's fine. But all the big guns, right? Ryan Murphy, the biggest fucking cock of all time. That man should be ashamed of himself, man. And I think there should be a fucking investigation done on this guy. What's going on in this person's mind, man? Because I think the real monster is this dumb fuck. Alright? His obsession with killers and the fact that he claims that he's trying to understand them, man. He's trying to understand what makes them who they are. I think what we need to understand is what made this motherfucker who he is. Charlie Hunnam. Hunnam? Whatever the fuck his last name is. That guy should be ashamed of himself. By the way, a lot of people are saying, oh, great acting, man. Great acting. I don't think so. I think it was very average. I only saw 4 episodes and then I stopped because that show was fucking horrible. But I do know that they made up some stupid stuff, like he helped in finding Ted Bundy, which is not true as well. And a lot of other things, man. Addison Rae should be ashamed. What the fuck, man? How can you play a real person and do this nature of injustice to them? The person she was playing in the story is a real person who went missing, and there is no proof that Ed Gein was involved in her murder. How can you do this? Why? If you don't have enough material and you want to make a story about a game, you don't have to make 8 episodes, man. Just make 4 episodes, 5 episodes, whatever the fuck. Why do you have to make 8 episodes if you don't have enough material? And this is the end result of that, man. I don't know what leads to the other actually, I'm not sure. Whatever this is fucked up.